Hello everyone, my name is Hilda and welcome back to my channel. First things first, Happy New Year! I hope 2024 will be excellent for all of you. So this is not really a resolution because I say this all the time, regardless or whether it's like the start of a new year or not. But I do want to try and upload more regularly. So to kind of hold myself accountable, but also like to be more creative and not just sit in my sofa and watch shows on streaming services and whatever. I want to really get back into journaling and knitting, because I do love knitting. And I have been knitting quite a lot. And, painting as well. So I want to do these like weekly roundup videos. I've not really come up with a name yet. When this goes up, I might have. But I've been bouncing around some ideas like week in crafting. The thing is, painting isn't crafting, so there's a little bit of my conundrum, so to speak. But I'll come up with a title for this series. If I haven't, and you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below, please. But yeah, so I've not painted anything in a bit because, it's been so raining and the light has been absolutely atrocious. But I have been knitting a whole lot. So what I want to do is try to do this weekly and just like film on Wednesday and kind of be like last Wednesday to Tuesday, then the week I film, and then get them out. And like that leaves me Wednesday afternoon or the rest of the Wednesday and Thursday, Friday to edit. And then, at least give me some time if I can't edit it on Wednesday, and at least get a video out every week. That's my goal. Well, that's what I shall bravely attempt. So I will admit this was finished a little bit longer ago, but I really like how it came out. And this is the Beaubaton Cape pattern from the first Harry Potter knitting magic book, but without the color and in garter stitch instead of stockinette, because this yarn, I don't know how well it shows up, but it kind of looks like chainmail when you knit it. And these are just sweater clips, like cardigan clips. And I attached them because I didn't want to faff around with attempting an I-cord or whatever, but I like it. Also, I can like close it differently with a brooch. I will have some pictures up of me actually wearing it. Really love this, and it's surprisingly warm. It's not the most pleasant knitwear to wear, but it's also not unpleasant, so still awesome. My next project is actually a two-parter because I knitted this for my friend Valentine, and the reason I'm not wearing a hat as usual is because I have hats and now I can do this, put on as a hat. So this is just a standard hat with a pom-pom, and this is like slightly modified because the original pattern doesn't have a pom-pom. This is from a Lang Yarns Fatto a Mano magazine. I believe Lang is German, so I don't really know why the title is in Italian, but that aside, I will have it up on screen and in the screen, Jesus, words, and in the description down below which one I used. And then, I should probably have put this on first. I also made a cowl. Don't get this full of lipstick. But yeah, I made this cowl and it has, I can't knit I-cords, just my sanity will leave me what is left over from it to start with. But I've just braided, see, the yarns and then made little pom-poms, and then you can just adjust it. So yeah, it's a fun cowl and it's a matching set. And the yarn I used for this is just like literally yarn I bought at Zeeman, like absolute years ago. Zeeman is like this cheapy chain of all sorts of stuff, like household stuff, and they have some yarn, but it's never, I mean, they have like, say, Royale, which is their acrylic, and it comes in regular skeins and ginormous skeins. It's not the best quality, but it's actually fine for like hats and stuff. I wouldn't knit a sweater out of it, but I would knit a hat out of it. And they always have Royal, but not always in the same color. So if you see, oh, whoops, kicked my tripod. I do apologize. But so if you basically see at Zeeman a color that you like, just buy it immediately, because I knitted another hat for Valentine, like a Christmassy one for like when she does Christmas markets and stuff. I will have a picture here. They also had that red in a, because it's beautiful red, but they also had it in a beautiful green. And I wanted to go back and get the green to knit a hat for somebody else, and it was already gone. And it was like 3 weeks after I first got it. So if you have a Zeeman and you go to Zeeman and you see a yarn you like, grab it immediately. So yeah, that's the whole set. And this is, as if you hadn't guessed it, a slittering themed. And also like the fact that it's knitted this way, because it's 2 strands of the green and then 2 different grays, which I had in my stash and which are not still not gone, but I think it's like one more project and they're done. I might actually keep them if I have to knit like little slittering things for slittering friends. But this is more like, it's not super obviously slittering, and you could put like a little slittering button on it to make it obviously slittering instead of the patch. But you could just wear it like this and just have a fun green and grey set. This is another cowl I knitted. This is for my friend Claire. She's a Ravenclaw, and initially I had said, shamefully, 3 years ago, potentially 4, really terrible, I'm so sorry Claire, that I was gonna knit her a Ravenclaw scarf. But that was after I finished my infamous Weasley twin, like Weasley's inspired scarf, which took like 8 skeins of Bravo, meaning it's like over 2 meters long or something. And my like vintage inspired Gryffindor one, which is no better. And I at a point just had it with scarves. And yeah, so I just kind of put it off, and then I didn't find a blue I liked. But lately I've been going to Walrus a lot, which is our local yarn shop, which is excellent. Like literally it's excellent. And Els and Diane, shout out by the way, are the proprietors. They're also like mega excellent. And yeah, so I saw all these pretty yarns, and I've been occasionally popping into Veritas as well to look at yarns. And so I found really lovely blue yarns in both shops. This is cotton and like a mixed yarn, and then a grey with like tiny little color details. Not sure how well it shows up, but yeah. So the grey is like an oldie I got at Zeeman when I bought loads of yarn years ago. But yeah, so the lighter plain blue is Langyarn's Amira, which is a very fluffy cotton. It's absolutely lovely, super soft. And then this blue one is amazing. Like, look at it. This is the leftover. I'm going to give this to Claire as well, because she embroiders, and I'm sure you can use this for embroidery, like for like fluffy big things. But yeah, this is, let me double check. Veritas Spectaculo in a royal blue. Also comes in this amazing black with gold. And every time I'm at Veritas, I just stare at it and want it. But I'm just like, I have no justification. I have no idea what projects I'm gonna knit with this. So I just like look at it and lust after it and then don't buy it, which is, I'm very proud of myself. My final Harry Potter inspired project is a hat that I knitted myself. It's part open, part knit in the round. It has tassels, as you can see, with braiding and no I-cords. I-cords are the devil, my friend. You know, if a shop decides to just like sell I-cord by the meter from a bolt, I mean, wouldn't you be sitting on gold if Veritas did that? Or Walrus, I would just go and buy loads of it. But yeah, that aside, or I could just invest in a cord smith one day. But yeah, so that aside, this is a little bit more different than the other ones, as you can see. I saw in Instagram stories, one of the artists I follow, Kat. I'm so sorry, I'm not gonna try and pronounce your last name because I don't want to butcher it, but I will have her account up here, and I will link to her in the description down below. But she had like this amazing hat in her stories, and I was like, wow, that is the coolest hat ever. So I sent her a message and asked if she had a pattern, and she was very kind, told me which pattern she had based hers off and how she had knitted it. And I just went and took my usual Lang Yarns pattern and adjusted that, which is very easy to do. So this is 20 rows of rib, which is one garter stitch, one stockinette, and then just alternate. It's 40 stitches, and then you join when you've done these, I believe, was it 12 rows? I think it was 12 rows. If I'm wrong, I will recount them. I will put it in the description. But yeah, so I then joined in the round and knitted everything else in the round, added a tassel here and the braiding, and yeah, there you go. And yeah, this is obviously Gryffindor inspired because that is my house. I used loads of yarns from my stash in order to attempt to alleviate the pressure on my poor storage units. So yeah, so the rib part is 2 Scheepjes yarns, Color Crafter in the colorway Kampen, which is their most burgundy, as well as the gold twinkle. It has a number, but you can't miss it. If you go to Scheepjes website and just look at the colors, it's a gold with gold. Most excellent. And then also I believe the brand is called Soul Wool. I'm not sure. I will have it up on screen. But in any case, there's Stellaris, which is also a synthetic yarn. And it's this really, really fine, super thin red with gold. So I knitted that through it for like this really tiny detail. And then I used those 3 yarns minus the gold, obviously, for this part. And I added in some leftover Voilette by La Droguerie, the burgundy with red shimmer. It's a mohair, so that's the only actual wool that's in here. And I replaced the gold yarn with a Royale from Zeeman, a really old giant skein Royale, which is a slightly more raspberry burgundy than Company's, so it gives like a little bit of color difference. And then, well, I made these guys just by using all the yarns, minus the very thin ones like Voilette and the Stellaris ones, because that just wouldn't show up anyway, and made tassels and yeah, and the braiding, and attached those, and simple as that really. And that's my hat, my Gryffindor inspired hat. Will it match my handmade Gryffindor scarf? Probably not, because I used completely different yarns for that. I used Bravo yarns. So obviously I wanted to do something different, and I didn't want to knit like a traditional striped Gryffindor scarf because I own several already. So what would be the point in like making another one while I have several? So yeah, and now I have also got a Gryffindor hat, and maybe I'll just combine it with a store-bought scarf so it matches better. I'll see, you know. I'll just see what I feel like on the day I actually wear this. So yeah, there's that. And then my final thing for the day is living in this giant box. Well, it's not a box, it's a bowl, which is a Halloween candy bowl. And I've had it since 2021, I think. No, 2022. Yeah, 2022. And this was a present from my friend Alex, who lives in the US. Thank you, Alex. I have made super good use of it year round for all sorts of purposes. And yeah, this was from Target back then. I remember that. And what it is currently holding is this massive thing that is eventually going to be a scarf. And as you can see, this skein is nearly done with. And it's one of the Fildar Fill Light yarns. And that is also a mixed yarn. There is some wool in there, but very little. It is very much not prickly and soft. And the thing is, you're normally not supposed to knit it on number 12 needles, but if you do, see, you can make, this is not a drop stitch, by the way, this was knitted on purpose. You can do this spider web effect, because there's some bigger ones and smaller ones in here as well. Yeah, so sometimes I yarn over a couple of times so I can like make it more spider web-y. You can see it here as well. I feel like it's kind of like a spiderweb effect. I'm sure lots of people will be like, what are you doing? This is not the case. But yeah, I used to have a scarf like this years ago. So this is not the first time I've done this to myself. But the thing is, if you've knit, I think 2 skeins, I'm starting to think it's 2 and not 4. Because this is not even 1 and it's wrapped around like, what, 3 times, I think? Yeah. So if you do this with 2 skeins, you can tie it in a bow and it's really, really pretty. Like really, really pretty. Now, when will this be finished? I have no idea. I did buy 4 skeins, but if I end up only using 2, that's actually fine because my last scarf died due to pets. And if this one gets murdered as well, I will at least be able to knit myself a new one. So yeah, that's everything I got this week, which I feel is quite a few things. So yeah, there's that. Next week there will be less Harry Potter things, I believe. Yeah, there should be less. But there will be another hat because look at these guys. So yeah, I plan on knitting another hat like the, where is it? Yeah, like this guy, but in different yarns. For the front ribbing, I wanna use these 2 together, which is a Scheepjes Chunky Monkey in chocolate, like the darkest of the browns. The other brown is slightly lighter and warmer, and that's called Tawny. And I usually like buy the 5-pack at Walrus. I just kind of like order them in and then pick them up. And I know that the dye bots are all different that way in the end. They won't be in the 5-pack, but like, you know, eventually they will be because skeins get used up and I just like shove them all together. But that is a me thing. Ignore me. If you are a stickler for matching dye bots, that's absolutely fine. I totally understand you. I'm just not. And then the other yarn I want to use for the ribbing is this Pavon by Veritas from their Knit It range. I think the thing is with Veritas, I think they have a select set of yarns, but each season they eject colors and add new ones. So same story, if you see a color you like, just grab it when you can, and also hold on to your receipt. Because if you have a skein, for instance, you buy 5 skeins for a project and you end up using 3, you can return those 2 if they're unused like this, just like packaged the way you got, if they are the same, in the same shape as you got them at the store, and you have the receipt. Then you can just like exchange them and you get your money back. Well, I think you get your money back. You might get a coupon. I've not done it yet, but I got 2 of these guys, and if I end up not using the other one, it shall go back. But yeah, and then this I got years ago from my neighbor Jessie. Thank you, Jessie. I will use this for the body of the hat, and then I will still have stuff left over, and it will probably sit around and end up being under a hat. But yeah, look at it. Look at what a chunk this is. This is a super bulky acrylic from Hema. Apparently it comes with a knitting pattern for a hairband and a pillow in the back. I shall not be knitting either of them, but it's fun to have. In any case, I will keep it because there might be a friend of mine who wants to knit one, and then I can be like, have a pattern. But yeah, this is for sure coming next week. This giant goodness, and I will be able to show you how that hat turned out. And yeah, I will see you next week for sure. And there will be cats throughout this video. I might actually have enough footage with the cats and stuff. Maybe to do like a little proper intro segment for these videos. I mean, I have big plans, but yeah, there will be cats as soon as I stop waffling, because by this point we can't call it talking anymore. It's just literally waffling. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like, subscribe if you haven't already and want to stick around for more shenanigans in motion. Hit that notification bell so YouTube hopefully, probably actually tells you when I've uploaded a new video. And that's it for today, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. But for now, bye-bye!